Today we have Tapestry AI with us, sharing their plugin and set of agents that is focused on IP. Specifically, they're building an AI platform that will help discover expiring IPs, new IPs, and create IPs. They're going to introduce what they've built and talk through on the back end how the agent works. Bobo and Kimbo, great to have you here with us today. Thank you for joining us and taking some time. That segues quite nicely into your slides. Feel free to take it away.
Yep. So again, this is the team. I'm Bobo. Kimbo. Darky's not with us today, but he's our lead dev. And we have our esteemed AI ELIZA-backed agent, Steambot Willie, who is definitely online antagonizing the IP Twitter right now, which is pretty funny. Basically, the impetus for this idea was every January 1st, on what's become known as Public Domain Day, valuable creative works become free to use without permission, fees, or fear of hefty fines from copyright violations. And in 2024, Mickey Mouse's first iteration, Steambot Willie, captured headlines as it became free for everyone to remix. This is Walt Disney pinning Steamboat back in the day. And then in 2025, works published in 1929 entered the public domain. Some really cool stuff. Some of the thousands of works included famous surrealist arts from Dali and abstract artworks from Kandinsky, famous musical compositions like Singing in the Rain, really popular literary classics from Faulkner and Hemingway, and other pioneering films, including another version of Mickey Mouse in Carnival Kid, which is the first time that he had his first spoken words. So now his voice is usable for creators, or this first iteration of his voice, I should say. So this is a massive opportunity for creators if they could figure out how to tap into it. But today's creative landscape suffers from what we call hyperfragmentation, and creators waste valuable time trying to navigate this complex maze of disconnected archives and repositories of all this old public domain works that you see here. So we have the Trust, the Internet Archive, which is pretty popular. Stanford University has a big archive of old works, Project Gutenberg, Smithsonian, the Library of Congress, etc. But all of these platforms and endpoints use different systems, different metadata standards, and different interfaces. This fragmentation creates three critical problems. First, discovery is tough. Creators waste valuable time searching for usable assets. Data is stored all over the place and hard to access. You basically need to be a graduate level librarian just to track down what's out there. Second, IP law is complex, and this complexity creates uncertainty and the need to rely on expensive lawyers, and legal fees typically go up to over $350 an hour, pricing out the indie creator. Third, without the help of specialists, verifying public domain status remains ambiguous and risky, especially for some works that have different regulatory requirements or renewal requirements. And we're looking to solve all of this minefield of issues. The end result is an incredible cultural resource, but it's basically locked away from most creators. Enter Steambot Willie. We're doing three things. We solve all of this by creating a unified gateway to the world's public domain works, built for creators, not just scholars or lawyers. First, we'll collect and verify content from the trusted sources that you see, all these endpoints, plus some more. There are a few others out there. Then we'll organize it into practical use with practical use in mind. And finally, deliver it through intuitive tools, and down the line, API users can plug right into their existing workflows. We envision a world where designers can easily incorporate historical illustrations into their work. Musicians can sample classic compositions directly in their DAWs, and indie game developers can build immersive worlds using public domain literature as their foundation, and all without leaving their creative flow or worrying about copyright issues. This is the opportunity. Public domain isn't just a dusty archive, it's a launch pad for creators. Disney spun up Snow White into an empire from the same public domain treasure trove, proving its power, and we're here to open that same door for every creator, big or small. Steambot simplifies the maze and turns it into a clear path for inspiration. It's about building on the past to spark what's next, not starting from zero. Let's see. Yep, and our backend is where the heavy lifting happens. Like I said, we're going to pull together all these fragmented sources into one system. And that means connecting to all of these external API endpoints and wrestling their inconsistent metadata into something usable. For content handling, we'll implement a proxy rendering service, and our database will store standardized metadata, thumbnail previews, and vector embeddings, while full resolution content will be streamed directly from source repositories through embedded viewers in our interface. This approach keeps it smooth for users, and it keeps it light for our partners. And we will be looking to partner with many of these institutions. Yeah, our verification engine will be the core of our technology, and it will combine AI models fine-tuned on copyright law and case history with human in the loop review to evaluate legal status and enrich metadata for creative use. And we'll build out partnerships, as I said, with these educational and archival institutions and provide to them access in exchange for help in validating their databases with us. And this will power traditional search and conversation with Willie, making the technical complexity invisible to creators. So what makes Steambot Willie special is not that it's just a search database or a database to be searched. It's that Willie will be conversational. And instead of forcing creators to master complex search parameters, users can just talk to him naturally. I need jazz for film noir vibe, or find me Art Deco patterns like the one in this cool post I saw. This screenshot doesn't show that aspect of our front end, but that will definitely be coming down the line. Just a cool chat interface. So we think that obviously this will make public domain discovery accessible to everyone, regardless of their technical or legal expertise, because it'll just be a plain language chat with a multimodal interface. The cool part about this is that Willie won't just fetch stuff like a robot. Obviously, he'll be able to tell you the backstories, suggest adaptations, flag attribution needs. Maybe you upload something that you're working on, and Willie says, oh, hey, that looks a lot like this old piece of public domain IP that you could definitely use now to make your work cooler. And so he'll learn from every interaction, and this will create a flywheel as he continuously will sharpen his recommendations and grow his taste. And that's our ability to make better and better matches for creators and the works that they're making.
So at the core, you've built the plugin to basically enable creators, whatever the type of creators it might be, to, I guess, in an automated way, upload their IP to some sort of legal document, right? That's at the core of what you've built.
Not necessarily upload to a legal document, but it will allow them to make sure that they're not running afoul of any legal landmines. So
Got it.
typically what happens is a creator will use something and not have proper attribution, and then they'll get a copyright strike. So like the DMCA has all these copyright strikes on YouTube artists or creators on YouTube. So what we hope to do is be able to allow people to use this entire database of public domain works without fear of getting any sort of copyright strike. So we flag what's available, we build the database to what's available. And then also more on the legal side, though, we will be able to help a creator figure out if something that they've uploaded, that they've already created, might be a potential copyright strike for them. So when Robin Thicke did the blurred lines and he had that like opening stem of Marvin Gaye's Can't Get Enough, we want to be able to help creators not run into something like that.
Okay. Interesting. And what have you built within the plugin that was proprietary to elizaOS? Now, what have you done to enable people to use that or to have that functionality in their agent?
So we're still actually working on the plugin side of things. So TBD there, but in our vision, that functionality will be this like central legal review framework. Obviously we can't completely disclaim legal help without, it's a little touch and go there, because obviously we don't want to be liable for somebody doing something outside of, or like Willie making a bad recommendation. But it is like an early warning system, so to speak. Did that sort of get to your?
Got it. Yeah, that makes sense. You mentioned at the start you have a few agents that will live within Tapestry AI. What are the differences between the agents? What does each do?
Yep. Obviously, copyright is a massive opportunity for us, and we're looking to build Willie as our first iteration of this framework, where we'll be able to then apply it to the other IP categories, trademarks, and patents. So yeah, you'll be looking at a patent agent coming down the line very shortly after Willie proves out, or we build the architecture for Willie. And then, yeah, it will be, I will leave it to Darty and Kimbo for this, but in my mind, you will need several agents, even just for the analyzing of what's available. The way the platform will be set up is categorized, right? We'll need an agent that can read literature really well. Those obviously already exist, be able to have vision capabilities, and then feed all of that back into the main recommendation agent, which will be Willie.
Nice. Nice. And yeah, so what's your plans for the short term? Where you at currently? No, is there anything also you want the people watching to do on behalf of Tapestry?
Yeah, absolutely. We have a Discord that we'd love people to join, follow us on our socials. And then, yeah, in the short term, it's building out the POC of this massive database. In the long term, obviously, we're going to be just targeting all creators of all types, digital artists, game developers, musicians, filmmakers, creative studios, agencies, the full spectrum. And yep, we want to start with a community first approach and refine our platform based on real creative needs.
Amazing.
Well,
Thanks. Thank you so much for joining us. This looks amazing. I'm looking forward to what's next. I know there's a launch coming up soon, but I guess more will be revealed in the near future.
yeah, we're launching on auto.fun in the next couple of weeks. So you're definitely looking forward to that under Tapestry.
Yeah, I look forward to it as well. Thank you so much again for joining. This looks awesome. I'm looking forward to what's next for you guys. And yeah, thanks again.
Awesome. Thank you, Ken. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Right.